How you doing, guys and gals? My name's Doug Wilson, and this is Yellow Hawk Customs Outdoors. This is what we got for this video. Right? I'm going to show it to you. Boom. Okay, you're saying, well, what is that? You're asking, right? Kiva, you stay. Stay. I don't want you running off getting hit by a car. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some Molly Lock clips. A couple of new ones that we have that we're using here at Yellow Hawk now that are very convenient for certain carries. Field expedient strop, some knife and sheath systems, and the coup de grace. The coup de grace. Jacob Peterson's gunslinger rig, right? He said this is going to get a lot of publicity, airtime. It's going to get a lot of attention, I guess. All right? So I'm going to show you that as well. And we're also going to show you this guy right here. Okay? This is for Chris Leatherman, just finished it. This is his Jesmic Companion EDC rig. Okay? So, you give me a chance. Now I made this one kind of quiet to use, right? It's a quieter rig, if you will, and we'll show you that and how I'm wearing it and whatnot. Okay, all right, guys. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll get right to it. Okay, so we're back, and let me show you this real quick, because I forget. I plan on showing things in the video, and then I forget to do it. You know, like I said, I try to show things that are going to benefit you guys. So here's the system that I was wearing, right? And I showed you how it carries, right? Well, there's several different ways you can carry this sheath system. This is for the Jesmic Companion. This is a knife that's designed by Chris Tanner. It's a smaller version of his JX2 Jesmic, which is a very efficient bushcrafter. And there are bugs everywhere out here. It's like, I don't know, 90 degrees out here. And you guys know how much I hate hot, humid weather. But it's not like super bad. It's not super humid, so I figured I'd come out and shoot a video. So here it is. There's his Prepared Mind 101 symbol there. Now this is a nice little EDC. You can carry it every day EDC. You got to clarify this stuff, because EDC means something different to everybody, depending on which genre, which knives you're talking about. Are you carrying an EDC every day? You know, that kind of thing, right? Everyday carry. This is a legitimate everyday carry. You know, it's like a 3-inch blade, maybe a 4-inch handle, 3.5-inch handle, something like that. Okay, very comfortable. Okay, so the sheath system. Contrary to popular belief, right? We can build KYDEX sheath systems that when you put the knife in, it doesn't have to snap, right? It doesn't have to click like that, right? You can ease the thing in there so that it doesn't click, right? And you still get great retention, right? You can ease it out so it doesn't click when it's coming out too, right? So you can put it in, right? Ease it in, and then ease it out so it's quieter, right? Much like a leather sheath would be. You just have to do it slow, that's all. Okay, so this is how he wanted to carry this, okay? 2 molly lock clips on the back like this, so that he can wear it on his chest rig, right? Right here, right? Or right here, right here, right here, wherever, okay? And then all he has to do is reach up, grab it, pull it, deploy the weapon, and he's good to go. Deploy the tool, whatever, right? So there's other ways that he can carry this as well, right? He could take these molly lock clips, right? And he can put one on this side and one on this side, right? For vertical carry, if he wants to attach it to a pack or his chest rig that way as well, right? You can also put a tech lock on this, a large tech lock, right on the back in 90-degree or vertical, okay? So, versatility, okay? And that comes from the mount plate that I use, right? And these mount plates, they're all built by hand. They're 100% custom for every sheath system, so that you get maximum versatility out of every sheath system that belongs to you specifically, all right? So there it is. You wear it on your belt, put it on a pack, use, you know, Pal's webbing, Molly webbing. And then these are different Molly clips than you usually see. These are new, right? This is a 3-inch clip, right? These are the old standbys right here, okay? These are the ones everybody's used to. This is a 4-inch, and this one is a 6-inch, right? These have been on the market for years and years, okay? All these are different, okay? This is a 1.5-inch, a 2-inch, and another 1.5-inch with a different belt thickness area. See it? See how the belt thickness is different? This is a 6mm, this is a 4mm, meaning the width of your belt, right? So actually this one works real well, and so does this one. They both do, okay? For smaller applications. So say you have a small knife, right, like this one. This is a Falk-Niven F1. Great knife. VG10 laminated steel. Really neat little, you know, convex grind bushcrafter. Very popular, right? F1, Falk-Niven F1. And I got the mount plate on there like that, right? And this is a small diamond rod sharpener on the front because it's a small knife, right? That's what the client wanted. He wanted a smaller package. So I gave him a mount plate that he can put one of these smaller molly locks on, right? And it goes right there, right in the center. Now with a smaller knife like this, you can't really get 2 on there. One side by side, you can't get that on this because it requires you to get your fingers in here to open these things. And if they're too close together, right, one right next to it, you can't get your fingers in either one of them. So what I do is I don't center it all the time. I balance it. I balance the knife and the sheath on that point there. So right about there is where he would mount it with these 2 mount holes. The mounting hardware is already in the holes from the other side, okay? So all you gotta do is mount it on there and he's good to go. He can also put a longer one on there, but he's only got 2 holes. Luckily with these, you only need 2 screws to hold one of these on, okay? It doesn't matter which 2. So he could put one of these guys on here, a longer one, He could put a 3-inch one on here, or a 2-inch, I forget, 3-inch, 2-inch, whatever, just a smaller one, right? So here's a medium-sized one he can put on there. He can put the really long one on there if he wants to, but the really long one extends past the bottom of the sheath there, so I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, so that's that. Okay, they're the Molly Lock clips that we're using now. There are benefits and drawbacks to everything that you use in this industry, right? So these are not quite as firm, stable. It's like a softer plastic they use, but they're more pliable as well, so they can bend and contort to your body, your pack, whatever, right? In minute amounts, so that, you know, say your belt's a little fat, this thing will like kind of squeeze around your belt, right, and allow you to click it, where this one, which is really kind of stiffer, might not do that if you have a really thick piece of webbing or something. So drawbacks and benefits to everything. Okay, these work very well. They're called DOTS clip locks, or Molly locks, Molly Lock clips. That's what they're called, right? They're made by a company called DOTS, D-O-T-S, right? DOTS also makes an aftermarket large tech lock as well. Okay, so they also make a combat. We're getting all this stuff now. I just ordered a bunch of new materials. We're getting new combat belt clips that are aftermarket stuff. You know, I'll show them all to you eventually, right? But we have all that stuff in-house now that just makes everything even more versatile, right? Okay, so let's see what's next. Should have brought out my boat thing, right? My thermocell. Okay, so that's it for the new Molly Lock clips. I still have the blade techs, right? These are the blade techs. I think technically, I think this is a 3-inch. This is a 4 or 5. I can't remember. My mind's not a steel trap anymore, but you got smaller ones now, right? Smaller ones with different belt widths, right? You got a medium one, right? You got a bigger medium one, and then you got a long one, right? Which is like a 6-inch, you know, for really long, like this thing, right? For really long rigs. But like I said, you only need 2 screws at any one time on any one of these. But you got to use your head on these. If you only use these 2 screws at the top, you know, and you mount it right here, and it's all nice and tight up here, this is going to be kind of flimsy. So you got to use your head when you mount these things, okay? I try to. So there's the Molly Lock clips. I'm going to put them to the side. So they're new options that we're giving you now for like this, right? He's going to be able to mount this several different ways and then reconfigure everything, and he can also put a large tech lock on it as well, right? For the Jesmic Companion. These are made by LT Wright, same ones that make my Delta Whiskey Infinity. Okay, so there's that system. At the beginning of the video, I showed you how he wears it most of the time, right? Okay, so let's get rid of this for now. Let's get rid of these 2 for now. All right, so let's show this guy here, right? This is Jacob Peterson's Gunslinger, right? And here's the sheath system that he commissioned for it. It's pretty much finished. The only thing I wanted to do with it that we're probably not going to do with it is put a flashlight rig right here. But I still may give him the option of doing that. It's easy. Even though you don't see it on here, he still has the option of doing it, right? So there's that. And I'll show you what's on it. This is Jacob Peterson's, I call it the plate carrier pouch. He makes these. Jacob makes these, and he sells them in his store. These are, in my opinion, the best tin carriers on the market for a sheath system. Okay, but they can be a little pricey because he hand makes every one of these, so there's time involved in that, and then I have to purchase them from him. So if you want one, they are available. For guys who have unlimited resources, then you might want to think about getting one of these, right? Anyway, they're not like super expensive. We haven't worked out the price yet, but I think my price to you is probably going to be about $35, $45, something like that. It depends. I haven't worked out a price with him yet. So there's that. That's just for the pouch, okay? With a tin. I will include a tin with it as well. So there's that. It's also got side compression straps, military grade shock cord, that he has a ferro rod in here, right? And this is not coming out of here unless he takes it off. It's not going to bounce out. It's not going to rattle out. It's not going to happen, okay? And then I put a ceramic on this side for him. There's a fine diamond rod sharpener here. This is an extra fine diamond rod sharpener, so he can maintain this huge blade in the field, right? And then he has the ability to put a tech lock on here in different positions, as well as he can put 2 molly lock clips on this. I only have one on it right now, but this one is balanced, okay? So, and then we got ATAX Vista in, I think it's like 095. That's what the thickness comes out to be on this one. Triple layer tabby dangler system at the top here for his baldric rings. He's got a front mount piggyback with a SECR 2.5 companion blade. Badass. I mean, this is badass. And this is, I call it Vista Orange. He wanted some type of orange camouflage pattern. I think this worked out real well. So it's a pretty cool looking, you know. Then he's got their, you know, Yellow Hawk famous thumb ramp here, right? For a one-hand draw. And our quick draw combat scallops, so he can draw this thing quick, right? Okay, so put this down, and then he's going to put a sling on it, right? Put that down. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah. That was pretty good. Not bad. Woohoo. I'm just getting over a terrible cold. I was sick for a couple of days. Missed that one. Getting old, man. Getting old. I mean, this is a one chop chopper. One chop chopper. One chop chopper. Jacob loves these huge chopper blades, right? And he's good at designing them. Usually he has some type of choke-up choil on these things. This one doesn't have one, but it probably doesn't need one either. So, got a nice keen edge on it, that's for sure. I mean, anything that can do that. That's a hell of an edge. Woo. It's amazing. Off the bone, right? Ooh, mama. Let's see if we can get all the way through it. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Almost. Not bad. Not bad at all. I love chopping. Chopping is fun. That's a monster. I don't know what the steel is, but it's got a hell of an edge on it. Got a full length fuller on both sides. That just, there's all kinds of opinions on what fullers do, but the main thing they do is they lighten up the blade, right? Without reducing strength. You know what I mean? Too much. He's got a point on this thing. I'm not going to do a tip test on it, right? I don't. It's got a fairly pointy tip on it. I know why it's there, but I don't want to break his knife either, because when you do a tip test on a knife with a really pointy point, chances are you're going to break the tip off the knife. I don't care what the steel is, okay? So, but this is still pretty thick tip for the size knife that it is. So, love it. That's a big boy. And look at that handle. He's got huge G10 liners, you know, thick liners. This thing really fills up your hand too, right? It's not too big, and it is definitely blade heavy, right? So the balance point is right about there somewhere, right? So it's definitely not on the handle anywhere. It's not at the hilt, right? Not at the finger guard. So the balance is blade heavy. That's a chopper, right? He's got this offset cant as well, right? That comes off the handle, right? So the handle is straight that way. The blade comes off at an angle, gives you more leverage for chopping, right? Boom. Okay. Let's see what we got here. It's fun to play with. Starting to sweat now. Alright, so there's that. Canvas micarta scales. He's going to be offering these for sale. I don't know when. I didn't talk to him about it. His business with me is that sheath system and the slings and the pouches and stuff like that, okay? Which he makes some nice gear. All right. So there's that, the Gunslinger. Jacob Peterson, the Prepper's Bunker. Beautiful. Worked out real nice. All right, let's put that one away. Woo, mama. Unbelievable. Okay. Delta Whiskey Infinity knife and sheath system. The knife is built by LT Wright. Designed by me. This is my take on a wilderness EDC that allows you to do pretty much everything you need it to do, right? Including some light chopping, right? It's right there on the cusp. This thing will chop lightly, right? If you're building a bow drill set or whatever, you can chop with it. Choke up choil turns that, you know, almost 5 3/4 inch blade, 5 3/4 inch blade into a 3 inch or 4 inch blade, right? Gives you a lot of leverage. That's what choke up choils normally do. They give you a lot of leverage on a blade, right? And then we also have the spine is kind of rounded here. It's not as sharp as it is up here, so it doesn't chew up the webbing on your finger, right? Between your finger and your thumb, your forefinger and thumb. It's a little more comfortable if you want to choke up with that choke up choil. And then you got a striking area here, from here all the way forward, all right? So you just and you're good to go, right? So there's the knife. There's our symbol. Yellow Hawk Customs Outdoors, YHCO. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. All right, and here's the system. This was for Donald Rayner. He wanted to be able to see this from a mile off in the woods. So he can definitely do that with this. This is carbon fiber, OD carbon fiber, olive drab green carbon fiber. He's got a Phoenix E05 tactical lighting system on it, which he can use in the sheath or not, right? He can take it out and use it as a handheld flashlight, or he can use it like this in cross draw or baldric carry, whatever he wants to do, right? Or he can flip it around and use it in dangler mode as well, right? So it would sit on his belt like this. I usually like mine in the front, kind of like that. And then if he wants to attach it to a pack or whatever, he can put a small molly lock on this, like one of these. So he takes the tech lock off and puts one of these little molly lock clips on there, one here. You can also put one over here and do a double molly lock. And yes, it will work with the tin assembly on there with a small molly lock. It'll still go on the PALS webbing, okay? So, pretty cool. He's got this small Altoids tin. What else we got? Fine diamond rod sharpener, triple layer tabby dangler. Makes that area there very, very strong. Okay. I guess it's possible to break them. But if this thing ever breaks, it's gonna break down here somewhere. It's not gonna break up here. So, but that'll still allow you to use the system. You know what I mean? And then at a later date, ooh, I hate bees. At a later date, we can repair the sheath for you. You know, make a new sheath for it and then put everything back on. Everything's kind of removable on our sheath systems, right? If you don't want something on there, you want to lighten up your load a little bit, just take something off, right? Just take it off. No big deal. Throw it in your pack, attach it to something else, whatever, right? They're pretty versatile. So, it turned out real nice. I hope you like it, Don. All right, there it is. Give you a good look at it. And it's looking like I'm almost at the end of the sheath systems for the first run. Got like a couple to do. I think I have 2 knives that need owners. 2 more, that's it. There won't be any more after that, I don't think, okay? So if you're looking for a Delta Whiskey Infinity knife and sheath system, I have 2 knives left. So, okay? One of them one of the knives sold. I had 3. One of them sold a couple of days ago with the sheath system on it. So, okay, there's that. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so just a couple of systems I'm working on for Chris Leatherman, the guy that owns this one. I cannot overstate the versatility in these, the carry versatility in these systems. With this mount plate, I can pretty much give you any effective carry that you're looking for, right? Including mid-back, you know. I don't advocate mid-back carry, you know, like middle of the back, and you reach around so that you can't see the knife, especially if you're going to resheath it, right? I've seen guys like stab themselves in the side and injure themselves. There was a guy in my SF unit when I was serving that used to wear his knife mid-back carry, and he was going to put the knife back one day, right? And you got to kind of sometimes put your hand back, your other hand, right, to guide the blade in, and he sliced this part of his finger and knuckle off by trying to put it back in the sheath, right? It's a dangerous form of carry if you're not really used to what you're doing, right? But it's hard to, like, you know, gravitate guys away from that carry because they see it on the movies, right? They see it in the movies, they think it's a, you know, it's a spec ops way to carry a knife, and you know, maybe it is, but I think it's a dangerous way to carry a knife unless you know what you're doing. How's that, right? So, all right, so Chris Leatherman, this is his Falk Niven F1. It's a brand new knife. Chris is one of those guys that gets it, right? I have a Falk Niven F1, right? But if you want perfect fit and retention, I need your knife, right? Even if I have it, I need your knife for perfect fit and retention. And that's exactly what you're going to get if you give me your knife, right? The great thing is now you have the option. You can hold on to your knife until I ask you to send it, right? So you don't have to go 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 weeks without your knife. You'll be without your knife 1, maybe 2 weeks, right? So a week before your build day, I will ask you to send it. You send it within a few days. I build your sheath system and everything comes back to you, right? I do require that payment up front though. So, okay, so there's that. This one's not finished yet. Just showing it to them. This is OKC, Ontario Knife Company, Blackbird SK5. This is a cool knife. 5/32 inch steel. I don't know what this steel is, but that's a sharp looking knife. You can trust OKC. Their heat treats are spot on. Their knives are you know, nice knives. These look like G10 scales, right? Texturized. That's a cool knife. Full flat grind. Okay, just showing it because it's a neat looking knife, right? Okay, guys. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me show you something else real quick. All right, you guys know about these, right? All right, this is our necker system, one of them anyway, and a lot of times if you want one, I'll put a flip out ferro rod on the other side, and they're still fairly comfortable even with the flip out ferro rod on it, okay? This thing's not being pushed up against your chest, you're just wearing it, right? So it's kind of swinging a little bit, doesn't hurt. I wear mine all the time, but there is the added benefit of fire all the time. So this is how it works. I build every one of them different, but this is kind of like how it goes. I put a stopper on there. That cold, man, it killed me. Like 3 days, I was sick as a dog. So the stopper is on there. All you got to do is push it over the stopper, right? Get it into a position where you want to use the striker, right? You can take the striker off and use the striker, or you can use your knife if you want, if it's capable of doing it, right? And then just down here, and then just use it. I usually like to try to put it like that, and it gives, you know, it's nice and stable. Okay, so let's try to use it for real. Let's get some, this is birch bark. Alright, let's get some birch bark here. Let's get a little piece here, piece here. Do some scraping. Alright. Alright, this is a Mike Wallace Field Series 1. This is one of my favorite neckers. Okay, this is white birch bark. Very good for lighting fires. You know, scrape it up, strike a ferro rod into it. And alright, there it is. Okay, then these little pieces here, you put them on top here, and you got some fire extender if you want it, right? And it didn't work. So, but it works real well. White birch bark works really well. I just didn't have enough dust, you know, white birch bark dust. There we go. Alright, let's see what we got here. It's kind of windy out here. A little bit windy. There we go. There. Alright. Very, very good fire starter. That black smoke is that oil that's in the birch bark. Kind of burns like turpentine. So anyway, you can reuse these, right? Just put it back in your kit and reuse it, right? There's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 fires in this, right? And then just get you another piece when that's worn out, okay? Then you know, you take the ferro rod, flip it back over the stopper, right? And it's not gonna, it doesn't flip out by itself, right? There's tension on it. And then put your knife back in the sheath, put it back on you. Now this is a quick breakaway, right? Breakaway lanyard. Put it back on your neck and you're good to go to the next time you need it. All right, guys, see ya.